Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's Friday night, it's 7 o'clock. I'm wearing my sparkly waistcoat. It can only mean one thing, and that is a concert, a soiree, a piano soiree, in aid of Tabs International. And Mark is moving forward in an ominous manner. What? Ah, yes, I did wonder. Ash, you're making a better door than a window. Is that better? Fantastic. Excellent. So welcome to all of you at home and to the handful of us here in church. And I've got a whole load of pieces that you have all very kindly requested. And here's the first one. Thank you very much. Now, that was called the Warsaw Concerto by a chap called Richard someone or other, Adinsell, I think, and that was requested by our friend Anne Mullinder, who seems to delight in really wonderful music choices that I can't really play very well. So I'm really pleased to have got that over and done with, and it all gets easier from now on. So thank you very much, Anne, for that donation and for that request. It was the theme music for a film called Dangerous Moonlight. It does have a very sort of slightly over-the-top film music feel about it, doesn't it? Now, the next one is requested by Louise Mason, and it's a chorus, and it's called You Are My King, Amazing Love, and this means a lot to her, I know. Now, Pip has requested the next one, and it's Scott Joplin's The Entertainer. That's one I can play, I think. Now, many of you will know that, or remember that I did ask for requests to come in good and early to give me a chance to learn them and practice them. So especially grateful to Carol Slade, whose request came in today for Something by Mozart. So, Mozart, who writes really intricate, fiddly little things that I don't know how to play. But she did say I could make my choice, and if I couldn't do that, anything else classical will do. And then she mentioned a sum of money, and I said, I'll definitely do it. So I looked in my book of clever tunes, and there are 3 pieces by Mozart, and the first one I can't play, it's too difficult, and the second one I can't play, it's too difficult, but this third one's really easy. So, Carol, you're getting the Minuet in G major. Now, if you're not a fan of Mozart, don't worry, just listen for how exquisite it is, how simple it is. It's just 2 lines of music, kind of 1 finger per hand, really. But how beautifully it is put together. It is like a very, like a miniature portrait or something like that. Minuets were designed to be danced to in 3 times. So imagine elegant ladies in ball dresses and men in black tie gliding across a dance floor to some Mozart. Yeah, wasn't that exquisite? Now, my friend Pam Biggs from Bedworth has requested Georgia on My Mind, which is lovely. Now, it's at this moment that I really feel the lack of Jaden. So those who've been to these soirees before will know that my wonderfully talented friend Jaden Hart normally comes with his selection of bass instruments, it's string bass and double bass, and really gives the thing a lift. Only the rat bag tested positive for COVID on Monday, so it really isn't sensible for him to come, is it? So we really miss you, Jaden, and not least on this piece, Georgia on My Mind. Now, the next song, I'm told my grandparents used to have as a 78 record. I'll explain to you youngsters what that means later on. And I suspect it probably, that version of it went like this. Anyway, Frank Sinatra got hold of it and put it to some swing. And David Bald used to sing this one, so Diana's requested this one, Without a Song. What should we do next? Yes, this is for you, Ash. Ash requested Red, Red Wine. Now, it's one I remember from my youth as well. It was written by Neil Diamond in the 60s, which I didn't know, because the version I know, and I suspect most of us know, is the UB40 one, that great Birmingham band, named after a social security unemployment benefit form, and why not? And so this is their reggae version, and again, how I miss Jaden, of Red, Red Wine. Timothy Alsop from Bedworth has requested this next one. It's by Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, and this one means a lot to him. It's a sad and mournful song, and it brings to mind people that we have perhaps loved and lost. wish you were here. We're like two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. Fantastic lyrics. Now, this has been requested by our own Eileen Atkinson for her granddaughters, Chloe and Sophie. And she wasn't quite sure how it went, but said it's called The Power of Love. So I immediately thought of Huey Lewis and the News from Back to the Future. But it's not that one. And now the other sort of famous one is the Frankie Goes to Hollywood one. And it's not that one either. But this is the one that was originally recorded by Jennifer Rush in the 80s. And then covered again by Celine Dion in the 90s. And Jennifer Rush had a number one, I think, in this country, and Celine Dion had a number one in the States. So it can't be bad. The Power of Love. So Chloe and Sophie, that one is for you. Now, I hope you're enjoying the evening. We're heading towards a midway point, and what I want to do now is to play you a video. It's just 4 minutes long, put together from some pictures that were taken of our recent trip to Kenya in February. I say our, that's other TABS trustees, not myself, unfortunately. And we've got some exciting news about the project, about the school that we're sponsoring there, and the incredible achievements, but also what we're wanting to do in the future. So do donate generously. If you're here in church, there's a bowl at the back. There'll be a bowl in the kitchen, in the cafe for the refreshments afterwards. If you're at home, you can get money to me anyhow, or any of the other trustees, or hop over afterwards to the website tabsinternational.org, and there is a page there where you can give online. So let's watch the video. What an inspirational project, eh? It's great. So thank you very much for those who have contributed, and thank you to all those who will. Now, I was grumbling earlier about late requests. I've just had one that's just come in within the last hour or so. When I was very, very young, still a teenager and at school, we had a jazz band. And there was me and Jeremy Fisher on clarinet, and there was Matt Fowler on trumpet, and there were a couple of trombonists, and there was we had a drummer, and as I say, me on the keyboard. Well, Jez Fish and I are sort of Facebook friends, and sadly Matt Fowler, our trumpeter, is no longer with us. And so Jazz has just a message to say, please can I play a piece for him? It's one we used to play in the jazz band. It was called Spectrum. We were so trendy. We had black and white shirts and ties, black shirts and white ties, and we were called Spectrum. And one of the pieces we always played was If I Had a Hammer. So Jeremy, I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing it for Matt Fowler. And Jeremy, I know you're about to take a van out to Ukraine, so best of luck, and hope it's a good trip. So I'm going straight from that into Edelweiss, which was requested by Sharon Gray. I haven't played If I Had a Hammer for probably 40 years, so let's see if I can still do it. Now, quite a lot of you have requested hymn tunes, so rather than just sort of doing each one in turn with a clap in between, I've melded them together in a medley. So your job tonight is to count them, see if you can identify the tunes, and see how many you get to, and I'll tell you at the end and who they're dedicated to or requested from. Right, how many did you count? Did you count? You lose count. 10. I think I did 8, but it might have been 10. Let's see. We started with the Dam Busters, didn't we? The hymn tune is God is our strength and strength and power. And but of course, originally Eric Coates wrote that theme music for the Dam Busters. Then we had Crimond, the tune for The Lord's My Shepherd. That's 2. Jesus Christ, I Think Upon Your Sacrifice. Louise chose that. Barbara Jenkinson chose the Dam Busters, and Peter Slade chose The Lord's My Shepherd, by the way. Then we had Carol Jeans's choice, Morning Has Broken. Joan Jowett, her favourite funeral hymns. She's got it all lined up and me booked, but I've told her I'll be retired by then. So how far have we got? So we got 4 with Morning Has Broken. So 5, Joan chose There Is a Redeemer. And then number 6, did you know this one? It was new to me. John knows it. No one else. So it's called Someday the Silver Cord Will Break. And the chorus goes, and I shall see him face to face and tell the story saved by grace. And I shall see him face to face and tell the story saved by grace. So where are we? Is that number 6? And then Just As I Am, but there are 2 tunes, and I wasn't sure which one Mavis wanted. Mavis Atkinson chose, so I did both tunes. So does that count as 7 or 7 and 8? And then we had All to Jesus I Surrender. That was also Mavis's, so let's count that as number 8. And then John Watts and Peter Slade both chose Be Still My Soul, which is the wonderful tune by Sibelius called Finlandia. So it's either 9 or 10, so I'll give you 10. 10 tunes, 9 hymns. How about that? That'll do. Shall we have a bit more swing? Yes, they cry. Good. We're going to get it anyway. So you might as well just, make the best of a bad job. So Pam Biggs in Bedworth has chosen this one as well. And what a difference a day makes was originally the words in Spanish, but it's been translated into English and has been a jazz standard. I think Dinah Washington sang it. But much more recently, the sickeningly talented Jamie Cullum has made it his own. He sings, he plays the piano, and is still only about 17, I think. So here we go. This is his version of What a Difference a Day Makes. So thank you, Pam, for choosing that one. Now, really grateful to Mark at the back running the sound desk, and also Barb Bancroft running the live stream and the screens here, multitasking. Now, Barb has requested, so therefore she ought to have this for free, really. The first LP she ever bought. Was it single? LP? LP. Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel. So here we go. Let's do our best with this one. Well, only 3 to go. We're coming to an end. Are you ready for your coffee and biscuits? And I think there are some Kevin scones as well. So if you're at home, sorry about that, should be here. But I know it's a couple of 100 miles for many of you, but there we go. Now, our wonderful member of the congregation, Martin Wallace, took the tune of Alleluia, the Leonard Cohen version, and has written fantastic words for them. And we do his Christmas version most Christmases here. He's also written another one which tells the whole story of Jesus, the whole of the rest of his life, really. And Martin told me that one time I think it was in York Minster, and I think it was probably when he retired as a bishop, then they all processed right round the whole place, singing all, and there's a lot of verses. I'm not going to play them all. But Joan Judd has requested that we have Alleluia, and she's got Martin Wallace's words in her head. You can have Leonard Cohen's original if you prefer. Let's have a go at this. Now, Jenny Beckett, who you saw in the video giving out the Scout neckerchiefs to the children in Llandatu, has requested this last one. It's Elton John's I'm Still Standing, and she said it was absolutely perfect for her trip because before she went, she was absolutely terrified But bless her, she did it, and she had the most marvellous, life-changing time. So I'm looking forward to my next trip. I'm hoping that I can take some folks from here. No idea when it will be, but next time perhaps we need a whole lot of volunteers to do some building, painting, digging. Who knows? Anyway, this may be what you need to get some inspiration. I'm still standing. Feel free to sing along. And we are on the last piece of music. It brings me back to pieces of music I can't play very well, but here we go. This was requested by Denise Seymour, and she requested it last time, so I ought to be able to do it by now, but I still can't, because it's really hard. So I think, well, actually, one of the first records I got, I'm afraid it wasn't Bridge Over Troubled Water. It was Andre Previn playing Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin with, I think, probably the London Symphony Orchestra. But there we are. I had a very misspent youth. And that's the piece that Denise wants, Rhapsody in Blue. Now, the Andre Previn version, you have to imagine the proper thing, Steinway, grand piano, big concert hall, big symphony orchestra. That, if you like, is the Waitrose version. So I'm going to give you the edited highlights of the Aldi version of Rhapsody in Blue. And that's your lot. Thank you very much indeed for coming. It's lovely to have you. Thank you very much, everyone who's been watching at home. And see you next time. Thank you. Right, I'm gasping for a coffee. Who's coming?